is live at noon. I'm Mahalia Joseph.
And I'm Nasira Mohammed with sports.
In less than 2 hours, the 2016-2017 budget will be presented by Finance Minister Colm Imbert in the House of Representatives, and the nation is bracing for what could be a very lean and stringent offering. Today was also the initial deadline for the country to become compliant with the U.S. Foreign Accounts Tax Compliance Act, FATCA. Words moments ago from U.S. Ambassador John Estrada is that the deadline has been extended. Trinidad and Tobago now has until February 2017 to ensure legislation for compliance is passed in Parliament. Back to budget matters now. Analysts are predicting a much sterner revision to the April mid-year review, with the possibility of the gas subsidy being further trimmed and an average predicated oil price pegged around the conservative $32 to $35 mark, and LNG setting at much the same at around 2.75 per MMBTU mark. CTV and Talk City 91.1 FM is bringing you live comprehensive coverage of the Finance Minister's presentation of the 2016-2017 budget. Our team of Roger Dwarka and Karen Cozier-Phillip are at Parliament, and let's join Roger to find out what the atmosphere is like. Roger?
Well, thanks very much indeed. We're outside the parliamentary chamber, which will be the focus of the budget today by Colm Imbert, the Finance Minister. He'll be here at 1:30 to present this year's 2016-2017 budget, one that's going to be very closely watched by the population. Many leading economists and analysts weighing in and saying that it's going to be using the word austerity, one of those tight austerity budgets, i.e. belt tightening, if you like. Many people are going to be watching to see whether there will be a gas price hike, whether the taxes are going to go up, but how much by? Because if you remember, the last year's budget was predicated on $45 a barrel. Mid-year review revised down to 35 because of declining oil revenues, I should say. And now this year, of course, going to have to see some conservative estimates between $32 and $35 so far. Let's have a quick chat with one quick guest we have here. We picked on the street. Hi, Mr. Ambrose. You work at the Port Authority, very close by. You're watching the budget very closely today. Tell us in 30 seconds what you're hoping to hear from the Finance Minister today.
Well, I'm hoping to hear from the Finance Minister that he allocate a little more funds to the pensioners, because the medication for the pensioners is so expensive. When they get their money at month end, by the time you buy the medication and to get a little food, it's not much.
Indeed, and that's one key area. Another key area to look for, of course, is where the taxes are going to come and how much by.
Well, concerning taxes, I hope we go a little easy on tax, because we know the condition of the country and the state of the economy. So I will find that they go a little soft with subsidy on the gas, because you know when they raise gas, everything raises. Right, so I hope that the Finance Minister take into consideration that the people out here don't have much to go buy. So I hope they have a little hard and go a little easier on the population.
So, Mr. Ambrose, you're looking essentially for a budget for the people that actually help some money in your pocket, and that's exactly what many people say. Mr. Ambrose, thank you so much indeed. I know you're going to be walking up and down, so we'll get you back later on. So that indeed is predicated of what people really want to see in today's budget from the Finance Minister. Of course, you have to look for things like the TTRA, the implementation, the FIU, and of course, how this budget, how much will it be? Will it be 63 billion? Will it be 60 billion? We don't know yet, but we'll let you know. So stay tuned to CTV for comprehensive coverage of this year's budget.
Well, thank you so much, Roger Dwarka there. And we continue on with our newscast. UAE economist Dr. Regan Dionanan told C News what he thinks may come out of the 2016-2017 budget.
The budget is expected to be one of austerity, and I think that is prudent given what the economic realities of the country are. Key, items that we will be listening to within the budget would be what price we set oil and gas, what we peg that for this current budget.
Well, we also have Rishi Harinanan, who's at Arthur Lockjack in Mount Hope. Good afternoon, Rishi. Tell us about the mood on your end.
Thank you, Mahalia. We are here at the Arthur Lockjack Graduate School of Business, hoping to get some predictions from students and lecturers as to what they can expect from the Minister of Finance during the budget presentation, which is to be done in the Parliament at 1:30. Also, we will be staying here following the budget presentation as well to get some of the reactions to what the Minister has presented. Now, some of the issues after speaking with some of the students that they want to address are that of the OJT stipend. Remember, in the 2015 budget presentation, the Minister of Finance had announced that there would be an increase in the stipend. However, since 1 year has gone and there was really no mention of what is taking place with that. Also, they want to be addressed is the issue of job opportunities for young people. Entrepreneurship is another thing, and also the GATE program. Remember, there was some revision to that program earlier this year. Nothing much has been said about it following that in the public domain, but they want to see and hear from the minister if there will be any more changes. Remember, the government has to look at ways to get revenue as well as probably get their spending and revenue at a balanced level. So the programs, the social programs, they want to hear what government has to do with that. So we will be staying right here at the Arthur Lockjaw Graduate School of Business to tell you what are some of the views of the people who would be affected by the decisions made by the minister. Mahalia?
Thank you so much. There was Rishi Harinanan, who is at the Arthur Lockjaw Institute. And just to let you know, we'll have full coverage and analysis of today's budget. Our special programming begins at 12:30 and throughout the afternoon. We have a number of special guests joining us, so do stay tuned to CTV for that. Remember, you're watching the C News Live Report at noon. You can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at C News Live. Here's a look at the weather forecast for today.
Matthew continues to move west across the central Caribbean Sea, but set to swing through the weekend, possibly threatening Jamaica through Sunday. Here at home, however, we'll likely still see showers lingering due to the daytime heating and the moisture. During the heat of the afternoon, there's still the possibility of thunderclouds and a downpour. We should see more settled conditions by nightfall. Look for a humid 32 to 34 degrees Celsius today. For mariners heading out, look for easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots through this afternoon, with choppy seas still expected at 1.5 to 2.5 meters through the Caribbean and the Atlantic, with easterly swells of 11 seconds. Local waters should subside further on Saturday. That's the latest weather, and I am meteorologist Dean Wallace.
About 90% of former ArcelorMittal workers are still on the breadline, and now they are hoping to get a hearing in the budget. The representing Steelworkers Union reiterated that there is a need for a steel plant in the country. It had made a proposal to government on how they can get the plant up and running. Today they say if government listens to them, the entire country can benefit.
We also looked at the area of the steel plant making, where we can produce the high quality steel that is needed for the steel pan industry in Trinidad and Tobago, where they are having real problems in securing the quality steel that they need. We could produce that quality steel. We are also looking into low-cost housing, like with the containers. With the containers that we produce, there is a market for low-cost housing.
Chief Secretary Orville London says Tobagonians should be prepared for cutbacks in the next fiscal year as the 2017 budget presentation is made today. He told reporters at the weekly THA media briefing the Assembly will not be surprised if this year's budget does not bring a generous allocation, which it has previously enjoyed. Mr. London said the Assembly will meet in a special session next Wednesday to discuss any adjustments to be made following today's budget presentation. Well, as various experts across the sectors share their expectations for this afternoon's budget presentation, we also wanted to hear from you, the viewers, what you're looking forward to. Our C News team of cameraman Aleem Mohammed and reporter Janine Brown took to the streets of Port of Spain, and this is what some of you had to say.
Go easy on me now. Go easy on me with our lower food prices. Don't make everybody feel it when they go buy that cash and thing, But I don't know gas going on is. So everything associated with gas going on is.
But at the end of the day, the government don't have a choice, because we big people, we know what is going on.
See, the government, I don't hear nothing but the government. Thank you.
Nothing different. There's no gas and oil, so what are we going to do?
Everything expensive, so people still play mass like everything else. Trees have money, the only thing they can't afford is a 4 million house.
Whatever is the outcome of the budget, we as the low-class people, everyday people, we still have to continue living no matter what the budget becomes, what they say.
Well, I anticipate they will further remove subsidies from the diesel fuel. Well, if it is necessary for the stability of the country, well then, I will have no choice but to support it. Yeah.
It's only high people who in high places gain, and
the little black boys and them suffering, and why think the little black boys and them doing what they have to do because they ain't getting no work, and they're doing what they have to do to get work. So I the most hard to say.
At the end of the day, we getting better stuff outside and it'll be a lot cheaper than what it is we getting here. So why are you trying to hold us back from getting where we getting better stuff?
Well, Nasira Mohammed is here to tell us what's happening in the world of sport. Nasira.
Yes, Mahalia, it's cricket. Captain Jason Holder won the toss and sent the Pakistanis into bat first at the first one-day international in Sharjah. It proved to be a good decision as Shannon Gabriel had Azhar Ali trapped LBW the very first ball of the innings. But that's where the wicket flow stalled. Shardil Khan and Babar Azam added 81 runs for the second wicket when Suleiman Ben had Khan caught for 54. New batsman Shoaib Malik got to only 6 before Narayana counted for his wicket. Then it became the Babar Azam show. Azam went on to make 120 of 131 balls. He eventually fell to Carlos Brathwaite. The match, though, was halted with Pakistan on 260 for 6 after one of the floodlights at the stadium blacked out. Due to a loss of time, the match will now be 49 overs per side. And though they're back on the field, the West Indies weren't happy because a portion of the lights was still non-functional. However, the umpires were pleased, so the match went on, and Pakistan closed on 284 for 9 from their 49 overs. The West Indies are currently 6 for none after 2 overs. And C Sports will update via social media throughout the day of the score, so follow us on Twitter and Facebook at C Sports Live. The venue for the upcoming Caribbean Gold Cup, the Caribbean Cup and Gold Cup qualifier between Trinidad and Tobago's senior men's team and the Dominican Republic on Wednesday of next week, October 5th, has been changed from the Hazley Crawford Stadium to the Atbourne Stadium in Couva from 7 p.m. The change has come about following advice from stadium management in the midst of severe weather conditions. Tickets are now on sale at all sports and games, Kenny's Sports Shops, Ramsing Sportsworld in Couva and Heritage Sports in Tobago at $200 for covered and $100 for the uncovered sections. TNT will travel to face Martinique in their second match in the semi-final round on October 11th. The top team from the group will advance to the Four-Nation Caribbean Cup Finals and the 2017 CONCACAF Gold Cup. And on a very sad note, the local powerboat racing fraternity is now dealing with the sudden passing of Garth Marshall. Marshall was himself a racing enthusiast, but was also the longest-serving executive member of the TNT Powerboats Association, having served as president and vice president, as well as several other top posts, for well over 20 years. He has been battling lung cancer for some time and eventually lost that battle yesterday. He will surely be missed, and the association offered condolences to his wife Pixie, his son Jono, and all those in the Marshall and Dukutre family. And that was your sports for today.
Here's a look now at what's happening in the region.
Hurricane Matthew is now a Category 2 hurricane as it became significantly stronger on Thursday night. Matthew poses a danger to Jamaica, parts of Hispaniola, eastern Cuba and the Bahamas early next week. Its potential U.S. impact later next week still remains unclear. Information from the National Hurricane Center in Miami earlier this morning showed the center of the storm was located near latitude 14.0 north, longitude 69.9 west. It showed Hurricane Matthew was located about 130 miles north-northwest of Curacao and about 535 miles east-southeast of Kingstown, Jamaica. Matthew is moving towards the west near 14 miles per hour, and this general motion with a decrease in forward speed is forecast through Saturday. A hurricane hunter's reconnaissance mission early on Friday morning measured flight level winds a few thousand feet above the sea of just over 114 miles per hour north of the eye, prompting the upgrade to Category 2 status. Now, the Prime Minister of Curacao, Dr. Berhant Whiteman, announced in a press conference late on Thursday that the general election due to take place today will be postponed until next week Wednesday, that's October 5th. This decision was made after consulting with political parties and other stakeholders.
Looking further afield now, world leaders have hailed the vision of the late Israeli leader Shimon Peres as he was laid to rest days after his death at the age of 93. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described him as a great man of the world as he led the eulogies. Delivering an emotional address, Mr. Netanyahu said that while Israel and the world grieve for Mr. Perez, there was hope in his legacy. U.S. President Barack Obama said the presence of Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas at the funeral was a reminder of the unfinished business of peace. Mr. Abbas was among dozens of foreign dignitaries attending in Jerusalem. And that's a wrap on C News Live at noon. But be sure to stay tuned for full coverage and analysis of today's budget. Our special programming that begins at 12:30 and continues throughout the afternoon. We have a number of special guests joining us live in studio and in Tobago, and you won't want to miss it. C News, powered by a team of journalists and producers across the Republic and the region, on television, radio and online.
C News, your country, our job.